What is morphological productivity? How do we have more and more words? A given morphological pattern is more productive than another is to say that there is a higher probability of a potential word in the first pattern being accepted in the language than there is of a potential word in the second pattern. So if we have received a word, right, that is more productive than the word which has potential to be taken in the language. English nouns make their plural in a number of different ways, as can be seen in the following. For example, cats, sir, dogs, z, horses, oxen, n, deer, zero, plural, mice, an internal change, hippopotami, the altogether us to another inflection, right? Cherubim, so this is a foreign word, m is added, another type of plural. So we can see that in English language generally irregular plural are made differently, though sir and the are regular plural. What does a speaker of English do when confronted with new words? So let's look at the thing that when the Englishman receives a word, what does he do to make it a plural? Generally, nouns from other languages in the first place enter a language. So there are certain words: argazes, trait of specific style; smick, type of a cracker, biscuit; brox, piece of computer, hardware; ceratopus, type of dinosaur; cheppy, type of antelope. So these are some unusual words. So if they enter English language, how they are made plural? Obviously, you can think of that s will be added to these words to make plural, sir or za, according to the phonological ending. Chances are that despite the existence of other plural formation, an English speaker will mark all these words as plural by a suffixation of z, argazes, smicks, broxes, ceratopuses, and cheppies, etc. The only likely exception is ceratopus to ceratopus, like stimulus, stimuli, on the basis of Latin, alumni, or foci and nuclei, right? The word argazes, create, being a Hebrew noun, it would therefore be possible to pluralize it as argazim, because we add im in Hebrew nouns on the pattern of cherubim, seraphim, and Competence. However, brox, which we had added es, would likely to be made broxen, because x remind us of ox, which is made plural with oxen, broxes and waxes, right? One term potential word. So if we have any potential word which is likely to enter the English language, potential word could be a word but isn't. One example is mugglehood, the state of being a non-wizard, which is used by Harry Potter in the book Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling, right? And the English suffix hood is added to it. In 2004, only 3 instances of mugglehood were found on computer in internet, but also numerous instances of mugglehood, muggledom, and muggleness were found on the net. But if you it was again searched on the computer, so it showed that there were 292 hits. So this word stands for a potential word likely to be entered into the lexicon, into dictionary. Perhaps someday it would be included in the dictionary. The suffix th creates noun from adjective. So we have deep and depth, wide and width. A meaning that is similar to ness. I mean, length means the same thing that longness means, right? We do not use longness, instead we use length. We do not use decide, mean same thing as decidedness. We do not use decided, right? We do not make adjective with th. There are adjectives which are made once and we do not generally frequently make them so. But only ness can be called productive because it is commonly used with words coming into the language. Studying productivity, we study phenomena and distinction like these, that some words are used commonly in a language, but they are not frequently attached, as in the case of th and ness. One question we need to ask about productivity is whether it is part of linguistic competence. But the moment we think of competence, we think of Chomsky's division of performance and competence. And competence refers to the native speaker's knowledge of his language. So competence is Chomsky's term for the knowledge that speakers and hearers have of their language. So some people would say that productivity is not part of the linguistic competence either, because in order for something to be considered part of competence, it must be structural in all or none, right? So that should be the part of the structure of that language. Productivity is a probabilistic notion that varies, and some linguists believe that if something is probabilistic, it is not structural and hence is not part of the grammar. I mean, something has variation, so it's not the part of grammar. It is contrary to the rules. So if something is used on the rule, it is productive and it is not probabilistic in this case. So under this view, productivity would have to be treated as a phenomenon that is related to a speaker's competence, but not part of it. So if we talk about productivity, that we can say that productivity is a speaker's competence, not the competence of the language as a whole.